fake. It's Benny in the corner! To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win! The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker! Kenny Walker! Touchdown! Spike!
Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, ends up.
Yes!
Caught! Touchdown, Detroit Lions! They did it! Amon-Ra St. Brown on the receiving end!
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here! A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Good thirsty Thursday morning to you. It is the 9th day of March 2022. We welcome you here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Danny Cahill, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Thank you for joining us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. From Traverse City down to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City. We say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you. Join the program at any time. You can text the keyword sports radio. Send that to 21,000 sports radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, at Facebook, X's and Bros. And, of course, good morning to our television audience as well on BCSN and now streaming on our YouTube page at Michigan Sports Network. MichiganSportsNetwork.com to find the website. xbmornings@gmail.com is our fan feedback email inbox. And you can find us individually on Twitter. Danny Cahalan is the Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. Gentlemen, good morning to both of you. What's going on over there? How are you this morning? Thirsty Thursday. That's exciting.
Anthony, I swear, I was just like, right as this music was ending there, I thought I was hearing crickets. You didn't hear that on your end, did you?
No, I didn't hear any crickets.
Okay.
Why? What happened?
It literally sounded like crickets in my headphones. And I know you had like a cricket problem, so I thought maybe you were playing like a joke and playing the cricket noise, and I was so confused. But we have like this insanely tall radio tower.
Oh.
I mean, 10 feet outside of this wall behind us. Like, this thing's 400 feet tall. Like, it's insane. And that thing picks up all kinds of stuff and throws it into our headphones, so it could have just been that.
I mean, if you need crickets, I could get you crickets.
Yeah, that's what I was like, what is that? What is that noise?
Oh, wow. Are you under attack? That's the thing. With our Grand Rapids affiliate there, 96.1, we had some issues where all they were getting was the commercial breaks. They weren't actually getting the audio, and nobody could figure out why. It's because there was ice all over the receivers from the storm. We're supposed to get another storm. Did you see this? More snow? Winter storm advisory?
Yeah, my buddies are going squirrel hunting this weekend.
What?
And my one friend is missing bowling tonight because they have to go early so that they don't get stuck in the storm tomorrow.
Wait, that's real?
Yes.
Squirrel hunting?
Yeah, my buddy Chad, his family, and a couple other families, they have it's like a hunting space that they've cultivated over the last 15 years. Like,
good word choice.
That's what it's a hunting farm.
Squirrel hunting. They can come to my backyard. They come to my backyard and squirrel hunt. They have a field day. But to be honest with you, and I know it's a little weird because of the timing, but we have had some warmer weather. I have not seen nearly as much squirrel activity, and that is because the 2 jumbo-sized oak trees that flanked my house came down in the last about month and a half. So those are they're gone. House looks weird. Not gonna lie, like pulling up to it, like it looks.
What side Were they on the sun side of the house where your son was getting shaded by said trees, or what?
They were on the northeast corner and the southwest corner of my home. So, and one of them was, just the one was way bigger than the other. Like the actual circumference of the tree trunk is so massive, and that one's right by the driveway. It's like coming up through the driveway. So that one is no more. But both of the trees, the one basically went up and leaned over the front yard, and the one in the driveway on the southwest corner basically went up and covered the entire home. So I am.
So you're going to see some differences in your air conditioning.
Yes.
Bill this summer.
Yes, I'm very interested to see how much warmer it is in the actual house itself, and what that's going to be like now without all the shade. Also, it was so shady that my grass just didn't really grow. I would only have to cut my front yard. I could probably cut it once a month because the grass just wouldn't grow.
I know how that is. We had at where I used to, the house previous to where I lived, we had a building, like a huge brick. It was a warehouse in front of us. So the front of our house did not get any sunlight because we had a tree. We also had a tree. So yeah, our grass was pretty much dead by July.
Yeah, and my front yard right now, it looks like somebody was beginning to dig a trench because I had all this heavy machinery driving around the house. So the yard is just torn to hell. I mean, you can see the tracks. It looks like tank tracks in the front yard. It's just it's a mess. So I don't know what exactly I'm going to do and how I'm going to remedy the situation or fix it. But
we'll throw some sod down.
Throw some sod down. Yeah, and the other thing is got to be evened out. We have a lot of oak trees, and they drop a lot of nuts. The squirrels like to dig those up, and they like to harvest them. So there's always the ground is never like a good even flat grass. It's not like suburban grass. This is like I'm out in the woodlands kind of. So looking forward to fixing that. All right, what else is going on in the world of sports? We'll try to get you all caught up with all the happenings. We'll do so right now in the headlines.
Big news.
I have a little news flash.
Let's check the headlines.
Nah, it's real news for once.
The biggest stories of the local, regional, and national news.
This is huge news.
Huge news. The Red Wings actually won last night. How about that? What a comeback. 4-3 down the whole game. My goodness. What an effort. Good for them. Very, very, very happy for them because that probably should have been a loss right there, and normally it is a loss. So I'm happy that they were able to show some intestinal fortitude and get the job done. Last night yesterday, I should say, Calvin Ridley came out and said, "I made a stupid mistake betting on the NFL." Yes, you did, and I know it doesn't a worst mistake of his life. He said he is going to get reinstated. I know, he is very, people want to make a lot. Oh, it's only $1,500. It doesn't matter. If you don't understand the magnitude of what happened and why he got suspended and why it was a year long, then I can't help you. You need to be able to sit back as an adult and figure that out on yourself. The Cardinals cut wide receiver chosen Robbie Anderson to save $12 million on the cap. Wow. When did Robbie Anderson add chosen in front of his name? Do you remember that? I thought I misread something, but no.
His name is Chosen?
Chosen Robbie Anderson. His name is Chosen, but they cut him.
He was chosen to be cut.
Yeah. Let go Robbie Anderson. Witnesses say Michael Irvin had a friendly encounter with the woman. This whole thing about the Phoenix Hotel before the Super Bowl and the reason that he was off NFL Network, he should be able to sue NFL Network is what should happen. Because at some point you can't just have people lying and it costing you, basically your career. You can't. This is not the first person that has happened to. I know you gotta believe men too, and it's a friendly encounter. She claims this. He's off of NFL Network for a week. He's going to court. Like, that's a giant mess. Giants are working on Saquon Barkley and Dexter Lawrence's deal after extending Daniel Jones. I still think that contract is a mess. And Kevin Durant slipped during warmups last night in his home debut. He's scheduled for an MRI, could not play in the game. It looked bad, too. We'll step aside, back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
The new M-Perks is here. Reward yourself with dollars off your purchases, fuel rewards, and more at Meijer. Earn 10 points on nearly every dollar you spend when you shop in-store or on Meijer.com. Then use your points to claim and redeem rewards any way you want. Plus, earn points for every qualifying prescription filled at your Meijer pharmacy. Download the Meijer app to sign up, or if you're already using M-Perks, start earning points and saving today. Save more with M-Perks. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com to learn more.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Br0's. They are one of America's top accounting and business firms, and they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew from the east side of Michigan. If you're a small business, big business, and you're looking for the professionals who can help your business on any tax or business need you have, go to BeanGarter.com. That is BeanGarter.com. And we're close to March Madness, so be looking for our huge bracket challenge where you could win big cash, courtesy of Tom Rosenbach and his team from Bean-Garter. We'll have more details in the coming weeks. But if you're a business decision maker or owner and you're looking for professionals to help your business, contact Tom Rosenbach and his team at Bean-Garter. BeanGarter.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Share your thoughts all morning long on the Meyer guest line. Call 248-951-2176. That's 248-951-2176. Now, back to Danny, Ryan, and AB.
Never a lot of additions, but they got to get winning again.
Never easy. Never easy. They thought they were a playoff team.
Shot score! Kubalik giving the Red Wings a 4-3 lead against his former club.
Face-off win. Seconds later, Detroit's got the go-ahead goal. A beautifully designed play. And a great shot by Kubalik, who stops it and fires it low to the glove side on Stalock.
If only we could play Chicago every night. The game last night on TNT. Boy, I miss Ken and Mick and Ozzy. I missed them all. Keating. Just bring them all to me. Those are the guys I wanna listen to. Jimmy, Murph. These nationally televised games. Humbug. But the Red Wings did win 4-3 last night. I can't believe it. They were down 2-0 at the end of the first. Then they were down 2-1. They tied it up in the second, 2-2. And then we went into the third period. Gave up another one to Chicago. Scored a couple of more. Walk away with a 4-3 winner. Blackhawks fall to 22-37-5 on the year. The Red Wings 29-26-9. 16-12-4, or an even 16-16, 500 play at home, while still being roughly 6 games below 500 at 29-35 on the season. But all in all, I think that's the regular season series now tied at 1 game apiece between these two clubs that used to see each other a whole lot more throughout the course of a season. Ville Husso, 3 goals against on 20 shots against Jake Wallman. If you didn't see the old Wally World's goal, he's been pretty good. Like, he signed that deal, and he has been a very bright spot for this team, I think, in on that blue line. So good for the Red Wings to get that deal done, and that's somebody you can look forward to. Dominic Kubalik continues to be very good for this team. Dylan Larkin got a goal. Good for him. Lucas Raymond added one, and those are your goal scorers: Kubalik, Raymond, Larkin, and Wallen. And good for them. I mean, they're able to get the win. It is I don't know exactly the direction this team goes at this point with the Giants sell. I mean, it was nice to be able to break that 6-game losing streak, but the Giants sell there at the trade deadline. It's going to be very, very difficult to sell me something positive from this team. And I feel like, yesterday's game was, I thought they were going to lose. When it was 2-0 at the end of the first period, I was like, here we go. Like, this is exactly why, don't get frustrated. Just, whatever. Go out there, skate around a little bit, get it going. But, you don't have Hronek. You traded him. You don't have Bert. You traded him. You don't have, why is his name skipping my mind right now? Most recent Red Wings transactions got
Hronek, Bertuzzi.
Yep.
Who was the third guy they traded away?
That's what I'm saying. Why can't I think about it?
I'm going to be mad. Had to be a forward.
Oh, my goodness. Terry should know. He should be able to tip. But anyways, the point is that you have a team now that has clearly signaled that they're going to continue to look for the future, and that is going to Sundqvist and Vrana. Those are the two that we were missing. So we had Hronek, Bert, Oscar Sundqvist, Jacob Vrana. I wish that the Vrana thing would have worked out. It did not. That's unfortunate. And I guess I forget that we acquired Jasper Weatherby, good old Jasper, in that trade early on with San Jose back on January 18th. But neither here nor there. The 4 big ones, they traded away. They got a first round and a second round from Vancouver. They got a first and a fourth from Boston. They were able to get a 7th rounder in Dylan McLaughlin for Vrana. And then for Sundqvist, they got a fourth rounder. That one felt a little light, but it kind of is what it is. They signaled that they are not ready to compete. The Ottawa game signaled that they are not ready yet to compete for a playoff position, although we all thought that they were going to. I feel like there's a lot of fool's gold with this team this year, and I feel like that's probably why it was most disappointing, is because we were right there on, the outside looking in, sitting in like right around 9th or 10th, and they have just plummeted like a rock, 3-6-1 in their last 10. They trail Washington, Buffalo, Ottawa, Florida. That's before you even get to the wild card. They've lost out on some of those opportunities of the games in hand that they've had on a lot of their opponents. So just not a I don't know how else you look at this season and say this is anything else but a failure. I'm not really sure. Like, considering the expectation we were supposed to have going in, and sure, health was an issue, Bert breaking both his hands, everybody else getting injured every game. I understand that. But at the same time, even with all the horses ready and all the King's men, they're still not good enough. And I think that is what is most concerning about this club. All right, let's get to our friend Linda, who is on hold this morning over there on the west side. Linda, good morning to you, my friend. How are you?
Oh, very good. How about yourself?
I'm okay. It's Thursday.
Yeah. I'm a little concerned. I guess Dan just looked it up. I don't know if you saw it, but Fabry went down, and they think he re-injured that darn ACL.
Yeah, he went down. He never came back. Never came back into the game last night.
I sit here and I think to myself, Steve, did you go a little overboard trading everybody? I mean, I understand, we weren't going to make the playoffs. He didn't think after the losses in Calgary, even though that wasn't the only reason he traded, he said. But he wanted to give these players a chance to be on a contender. But now with him gone and with Bert gone now, I was watching Wingspan a couple weeks ago, and he said that Fabry said that Bert was one of his main motivators besides his family. He could walk over to his house and vice versa. And I'm sitting here going, oh, my gosh. And I guess Darren alone said, cross your fingers. I don't know if you've got any audio on his interview last night, but are they going to do an MRI?
Oh, yeah. They'll have an MRI today at some point to see where he's at. And I'm sure now this could be one of those injuries we may or may not hear. I think if they give us full details right away, it's bad. That if it is an ACL, then it's going to be bad news bears. If they don't and they just say it's a lower leg injury, we'll see how he is. Then he'll be okay and he'll be able to come back and play again this year.
Darren Pang said last night it was lower body injuries. Is what they classified it as right away. But when he went down, Darren, because he's between the glass, so he's got bird's eye view of what's going on, and he said he was sick to his stomach watching him go down.
It's not.
That scares me.
Yeah,
it wasn't good.
Scared me
I
too
can tell you that much.
And Dan just looked it up when he answered the call and before he put me on hold, and he said that's what they think it is, and according to the loan, he said cross your fingers. So that does not sound good.
No, that's not. That is not ideal. That's not what we were. That's not what we were looking for.
You wonder if it is. Can the guy even come back? Let alone would he want to come back? This would be the fourth time that he's had this injury. I've had this injury once. I'm not an athlete, and I know I can't do the things I used to do. So I can only imagine him trying to do anything. Yeah, they can repair it and get you to where you can at least walk and function. But, for instance, not to be real technical, I can't go from a standing position down to a sitting position like in a bathtub without kind of leaning back. And then if I want to stand up, if I sit on the floor or sit down in the tub, then I have to get on my hands and knees. I never used to have to do that for the ACL tour, and that's just on my left knee. So I can only imagine with both of his torn 3, possibly now 4 times.
Yeah, and it's a it's a bad situation there, Linda, for Mr. Fabry. Always good to hear from you, my friend. We have to step aside, but thank you so much for the call this morning, Linda. Have a great rest of your day. There she goes. We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archive boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
Get more for your money at Meijer. Right now, mix or match over 1,000 items and pay just $1 each when you buy 7 of items like extra large avocados, select varieties of Campbell's condensed soup, and select Body Armor's super drink. Plus, it's double points week. Earn 2 times the points for every $1 you spend through M-Perks. No clip necessary. Get more for your money this week at Meijer. See all the deals in the Meijer app. Excludes fuel.
X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros. This just in this morning. Sean Kemp has been booked by local PD in relation to a drive-by shooting taking place at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1:57 or something like that in the afternoon yesterday. The altercation took place between two motorists, and with one gun being fired into a car. No one was injured that we know of as of right now. The shooter is allegedly Sean Kemp. Yes, the Rain Man, Sean Kemp. I don't know what's going on with these people. What are you doing? What are you doing? Will Sean Kemp invite John Moran over for a sleepover? Will that happen? They bring Gilbert Arenas with them. Big Ten tournament yesterday. Today we'll get the men's Mid-American Conference tournament, which will be tipping off during championship week, which we love that. But yesterday, by the way, my Toledo Rockets on the women's side of things narrowly escaped in overtime. Oh my goodness, that was a little bit more than my heart could take. Whew. Jeez Louise, but they got it done.
That was scary times.
Sweaty palms time. It's like Jerry Palm, but different because it's sweaty.
I mean, that was weird that I was the one texting you that.
I'm aware. I was like, oh, this is kind of.
Well, it was the only thing on at that time of the day because it was like a 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock game. So I was like, all right, I'll throw this on. And it was like, it's Toledo. They should handle Buffalo, and then
beat them by 18 the first go around.
Yeah, and then Buffalo just kept hanging around.
Yes,
just hanging around.
How about the block by Quenisha Lockett there at the end?
Right.
Oh, to force the OT.
That wasn't a block. That was
stuffed her.
Yeah.
Give me that. Oh man, love Quenisha Lockett. She just plays with such a happy demeanor, happy mannerism, just happy to be there. MAC Player of the Year. My girl Trisha Cullop, poor thing. It's kind of games when you make your heart race a little bit, but back-to-back Mid-American Conference Coach of the Year awards for her 5 times in her career. By the way, while we do the University of Toledo infomercial here, the University of Toledo is the first school in the MAC and the third school in the FBS to win the football, men's basketball, and women's basketball conference championships. They joined Oregon and Ohio State are the other 2 universities that have done it. Both of those schools have done it since 2000. Those are the only 3 to ever win the Big 3 all in the same season. Toledo became, I believe, the first institution to sweep Player of the Year and Coach of the Year awards in both men's and women's basketball. So Ray J. Dennis got announced as the Mid-American Conference Men's Player of the Year. And my guy, Todd Kowalczyk, Coach of the Year. They're looking for 16 consecutive dubs. They'll be back in action a little bit later on today. They're from Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Looked like it was a lot of fun on television. Yesterday in the United Center at the Big Ten tournament, we had Ohio State beating Wisconsin in the early game, 65-57. It felt like a really nice game for Wisconsin there. I mean, for Ohio State, it felt like they jumped out to an early lead. They maintained control, and they were able to finish the game, even though Wisconsin kind of came back a little bit there just to make it respectable in the second half. And then Minnesota beat Nebraska. 2-17, Minnesota beat Nebraska. Can you believe that? 78-75. The Cornhuskers are out. I wouldn't be surprised if that job, if they start to look around a little bit and try to find the next up-and-comer there for Nebraska, too, because it's just an absolute mess. Hoiberg, how do you go from coaching the Bulls to not just being a disaster? But Minnesota wins, so good for them. They will survive and advance, which is the name of the game. And on Wisconsin here, there has been discussion about expanding the NCAA tournament up to 96 teams is what they're thinking about. 96. Now, I don't know about you, but I will tell you this much. Adding or expanding the field to 96 to add 32 more teams is one of the worst ideas I have ever heard in all my days. Now, there's roughly 330 schools playing Division I basketball. And if you have 96 teams, right? If it's 330 and you have 64 teams, we do this a lot with college football. You got about 20% of the field makes the playoffs, right? Makes the tournament. 20% of your overall 330. It might even be more. It might be up to three. I don't know. I think that we need to put some rules in place here and thin the herd a little bit. They want to expand the tournament. I want to close it off. I don't want open. There's no open door policy here. I want to build a wall. You got to work to get in here. And I look at a team like Wisconsin that hasn't won back-to-back games in the calendar 2023 year, and they're on the bubble. In a 96-team field, folks, my Michigan Wolverines are probably in. Now, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but as of today, does Michigan deserve to be in the NCAA tournament? Have they played well enough to be a tournament team? At times. But then they've also showed you that, yeah, no, they probably aren't good enough. They probably don't deserve to make the field. By expanding to 96 teams, you're not going to help out more little guys. It's not going to matter. Do we want to see 12 Big Ten teams in the tournament? No. It's the exclusivity of it all that makes it important. And right now, you already got 64 plus the first four, so 68 teams that make the field. It's too many to begin with. 68 teams, if there's 330 teams in college basketball, it's 20%. Almost 21% of the teams make the playoff.
I don't know if it's too many. I think it's perfect right now. I love the way, I love the play-in games. I love the first weekend. It's everything about it is they just leave it how it is. It's great. Just the way it pretty much works out that the first weekend is St. Patty's weekend every year. Like, I mean, you're going to be you kind of look at the NFL. Like, in my brain, still the Super Bowl is the first weekend, the first 5 days of February in my brain. Now it's like the 15th, the 16th, something like that every year. It's weird because they added that extra week. It would be weird and throw everything off if you added more games and more teams.
I agree. I like the natural calendar. I'm not opposed to that at all. It has been pulling teeth. The amount of people it said, people like John Wagner, good friend of the show, who say that you can't expand the college football playoff because 12 teams is too many. Are there 12 deserving teams? There aren't 96 deserving teams, folks. I hate to break it to you. There are not 96 teams that deserve to go to the postseason. That's what they have the NIT, and the CBI, and the CIT for all of those other teams that can't make the tournament. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, and if you want to revamp the NCAA tournament, just do it with like the mid-majors. Like, why should the mid-majors be playing a conference tournament?
Because the money grab that is this week. That's the only reason. But you want to redo
that,
the format? I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
How much money are these conferences making off their tournament?
I have no idea. I know that. How many fans do you think were there yesterday at the Q? This is one of those things that's bothered me for eons. Is that you keep going to this venue that you could have it in the Huntington Center in Toledo, where they used to hold it in Toledo. It's in the middle of the conference geographically, and the Huntington Center is the perfect size for it. You'd have about 8,000 fans. It's perfect. That's all you need. A little bit more for hoops. Why don't we just do it there? It's a beautiful venue. It's the perfect size for MAC basketball.
When were they doing that, though?
For what?
I mean,
when it was in the Seagate Center, like in the 90s.
How many teams were in the MAC? Is there enough hotel space to hold?
Say the MAC hasn't really
teams
expanded that much. I think they've actually gotten smaller,
right,
over the last 30 years because they've lost Temple, they've lost Massachusetts,
Marshall.
Yeah, they've actually lost a few teams instead of gaining a few teams over the last 20 years.
Yeah, we have there's a couple of hotels downtown that would be able to house them, and there's a couple of hotels in other places as well that would be just
the 8 teams is fine for the MAC. I like that they're. Yes. I respect the MAC for saying, you know what, if you were 2-18 this year, you're not invited and going to steal our bid.
Yeah, that's the fact that Eastern, Western, and Central, right? And I made that joke about how, Monty Bates and I have something in common. Neither one of us is going to the MAC tournament. The fact that Eastern, Western, and Central have a combined 26 total wins between the three schools. That's only one more than both Kent State and Toledo. They both have won 25 games this season. You're absolutely right. By trimming the field from 12 to 8, you've basically won. You put extra emphasis on the regular season, and you have no longer allowed some sort of treachery of a 12 seed that won 2 conference games, a team like Minnesota to win a game. Like, let's be honest. I'm okay with it. I don't even think we needed to see Ohio State, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Nebraska. I don't think any of them even deserve to be in the Big Ten tournament. I think you trim that right down. We're, for whatever reason, we just want more, right? And the exclusivity is what makes it great. People be and moan all the time about college football in the playoff. Yeah, you expand it, the regular season, it's not going to matter. Dude, you're expanding it. There's 3% of college football teams make the playoff. That's it, 3%. 20% make the tournament. If you are going to expand the college football field from 4 to 12, and there's 131 teams playing college football, might even be more than that at this point. It's like 10%. Take a breath. Relax. And if you're going to tell me that, we shouldn't expand college football because there aren't deserving teams, how the hell do you explain expanding it to 96 in the NCAA tournament? Find the way that it is. Contraction. I'm all about contraction. Less is more. Less is more. You don't need to oversaturate, right? You want a little olive oil in the pan, a little butter, like that's fine. You don't just dump the whole thing of olive oil, the entire container, into the pan. It would ruin your meal. Don't ruin your meal.
Also, this thing, the NCAA should change up the first 4 games. It should be all at-large teams in the first 4. Let them all play out for those final spots in the tournament because they're looking for that invite. They didn't qualify for the tournament.
I actually really like that idea. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I mean, if you didn't earn it through winning your conference, then yeah, sure.
Yeah, because I think it's kind of crap for those teams that won their conference tournaments to be like, okay, you now have to play in for the seed. You're in the rat tail match.
Can you imagine Montana State? Like, you win the Big Sky, you're celebrating, it's great. Somehow you end up in a first 4 game, and then like you win in your first round game is a 1 seed. Like, what kind of congratulations is that? You know what I mean? Like, no. I think Ryan is absolutely right here. If Michigan, quote unquote, makes the tournament, stick them in Dayton in the first 4.
Michigan, Clemson, Rutgers, Mississippi State, like
all those other Big Ten teams that they had there.
Half the Big Ten. Just relocate the Big Ten tournament to Dayton this year.
It's pretty good. That's what they should have done. That's tweetable. It's special. It's March, and we need to leave it kind of the way that it is. And if you wanted to do completely away with the conference championships tournaments, that would be fine by me. You're not going to hear any complaint from me. Today in the Big Ten tournament, it all kicks off at noon. Michigan against Rutgers. All of these games are on BTN at 2:30. Ohio State will play Iowa, so pretty quick turnaround there with 2 games in under 15 hours. Penn State and Illinois at 6:30. Minnesota and Maryland in the nightcap at 9 o'clock. Pretty surprised Ohio State didn't get one of those later games, considering Minnesota got the late game yesterday. They win. They get the late game again today, so they'll be 24 hours. They at least get a day between tip-offs, where Ohio State, I mean, they just went to bed. They wake up and go out there and get after it a little bit. So those are your 4 games, like I said, all on BTN. Now, over in the Mid-American Conference, the men's tournament will start today. The women have today off. Men start today, and then they'll combine. Men and women will both play tomorrow. But Toledo versus Miami, 11 a.m. ESPN Plus has the Mid-American Conference Tournament. So congratulations to the MAC. What a great deal they made with ESPN. What a great way to showcase the conference tournament by putting Western Central Toledo Bowling Green on a Wednesday during football season in the middle of November, where 4 people can go to the game, and then taking their conference tournament and stuffing it on ESPN Plus. Great job, good contract. Well done, everybody. Well done. Whomever is in charge of negotiations, we need to negotiate some things, because that is an absolute travesty. Neither here nor there. Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, Rockets and Redhawks, 11 o'clock. Then at 1:30, Ohio, our boy Kyle Barlow and his Bobcats will take on Ball State. At 4 o'clock, Northern Illinois against the 2-seeded Kent State, and then Buffalo and Akron at 6:30. So that's what's taking place on the men's side. Remember, the women have the day off because they're all going to play, get their 4 games in tomorrow at the Q. So very much the Q at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. I'm still bummed that they changed the name of that. I know I shouldn't be. It's just naming rights, but just bummed out. Also, by the way, did you guys hear this? You probably didn't, but this is just some crazy news. The Glass Bowl is going to have a naming rights sponsorship now. A firm has been hired to evaluate and to dive into what the name of the Glass Bowl will now be moving forward. How wild is it? It's been the Glass Bowl for 100 years. Can you imagine? Do you think that Michigan Stadium ever has naming rights? I
naming rights, like the coaching position has naming rights.
Right, exactly. Like, I'm thinking, like...
The Big House presented by...
Yeah, like,
Mike Morris Law Firm.
Right. I'm thinking, like, for the Glass Bowl, like, Ball Arena in, I think it's Denver. That's where the Nuggets play. I believe it's Ball Arena. I don't know if you guys know what the company Ball is. They make mason jars. That would be a perfect one for the Glass Bowl.
The Libby Glass Bowl.
There you go. A glass company. Just
that's,
get it done.
It makes sense. It'll probably be the ProMedica Glass Bowl or something like that, but I'm not sure. I don't know how that whole
maybe
what that looks like, how that sounds, to be honest with you.
What's the isn't there like a China company here, or Waterford Crystal, something like, maybe they can do it. The Waterford Crystal Glass Bowl.
If Waterford Crystal got the naming rights to the Glass Bowl, and I'm still employed there, my mom is going to be all over me for Waterford Crystal stuff. It's going to be a shakedown when I see her. She's going to have me by the ankle. Just, what do you have in there? Huh? What do you got? I knew it was going to be bad news when she called me the other day. She said, "Where are you? What are you doing today?" Not good. All right, we'll step aside. We'll get our Waterford Crystals together. We'll come back. We'll talk more sports next. Hour 2, X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
The new M-Perks is here. Reward yourself with dollars off your purchases, fuel rewards, and more at Meijer. Earn 10 points on nearly every dollar you spend when you shop in-store or on Meijer.com. Then use your points to claim and redeem rewards any way you want. Plus, earn points for every qualifying prescription filled at your Meijer pharmacy. Download the Meijer app to sign up, or if you're already using M-Perks, start earning points and saving today. Save more with M-Perks. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com to learn more.
We might have just come out with our most refreshing Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer yet. It's called the Essential Collection. It's made with coconut water and real fruit juice, so it's always going to have a real refreshing fruit taste. Can refreshing get any more refreshing? Yep, it can, and it just did. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, made with coconut water and real fruit juice for a superior taste. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When you're in construction, you know that every minute matters and every dollar counts. You've got materials to purchase, employees to pay, and deadlines to meet. What you don't have is time to worry about your accounting, taxes, or ways to grow your business. That's where we come in. We're Bean Garter. And while your business is construction, our business is helping you run your business better. From tax planning, payroll processing, or R&D credit studies. We're here for you with concrete advice and answers. Let us help you build a solid foundation for your business. Whether you're a subcontractor, developer, architect, or engineer, of all the things you build, make your business the strongest. Experience service, expertise, and simplicity at Bean Garter. Find us online, beangarter.com. Bean Garter.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archive boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
Good morning, everyone.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
It's a good morning. Wake up to a brand new day.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Danny Kaler, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Thank you for joining us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. From Traverse City down to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City, we say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. Of course, we encourage you to join the program at any time. Text the keyword is Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports Radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176 on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros, and of course, good morning to our television audience as well, BCSN and on YouTube at Michigan Sports Network. Couple things here. How do you guys have it on ESPN? Are you watching the Suns highlights right now?
No, the Players has just started.
Players.
So the second group just went off.
Players Championship, yes. All right. So over on ESPN, the Phoenix Suns, they are in their purple jersey, which is absolutely, it's a throwback with the sun, the basketball sun like explosion, the rising sun or whatever they call it thing. That's a fabulous jersey. They did a great job with that. Talking Stick Arena moved to Footprint Arena, whatever that is. And I couldn't tell if it was just the television broadcast or if that's actually Phoenix's court because they got advertisements all over the damn place. I think it was just the TV broadcast because obviously, we know this. We know this from the first hockey game I ever saw where they put Ram trucks on the glass. And I was like, all right, timeout. What's going on here? I can't figure this out. What's happening? It wasn't that they actually put the logo on the glass to obstruct the view. That was an image that the TVs put up. Right? And now they're doing the same thing with the Dashers. If you ever go watch minor league hockey, they have oversold every square inch of everything that they can. Go watch a European sport. I mean, come on. Think about Manchester United. They have big old advertisement. The crest is in the top left corner, and it's just an ad, AIG, right in the chest. It's like, what are we doing? I understand. I work in the field that depends on it. I get it. But at the same time, when is enough enough? My goodness.
Hey, I know that company. You want me to call them up? We can see if we can get some.
What? Which company? The advertising?
Yeah, the company that puts those advertisements on there. We could maybe get one on your hat. It'd be perfect.
Yeah, it could just float around. Say Danny's.
That'd be great.
Production team or whatever. Danny's Fine Foods. That'd be great. A couple of interesting notes here. One, Luka Doncic left with a left thigh strain in last night's game. Two, Kevin Durant went down with an ankle injury during warm-up, slipped and fell. He's going to get an MRI. That is not good at all. All right, what else is going on in the sports world? We'll try to get you all caught up with all the happenings. We'll do so right now in the headlines.
Big news.
I have a little news flash.
Let's check the headlines.
No, it's real news for once.
The biggest stories of the local, regional, and national news.
This is huge news.
Start things off with some college shooty hoops. Big Ten tournament begins, the second round action begins today. 4-game slate, beginning with Michigan and Rutgers at noon. Mid-American Conference Tournament over on ESPN Plus will start today as well at 11 a.m. with Miami taking on Toledo. Syracuse basketball head coach Jim Boeheim is going to be out after 47 seasons. He will not be returning as the men's basketball coach at Syracuse. It was announced yesterday, just hours after the Orange men lost 77-74.
Why did they word it that way? Why not just say Jim Boeheim is retiring, not returning?
Because
47 years, dude.
The way he was asked after the game yesterday, they asked hey, are you retiring? He goes, I don't know. It's not up to me. It's up to the university. Like, well, do you want to return? I don't know. You're asking the wrong person.
Okay, so he got forced.
Typical Jim
47
Boeheim.
years, my dude. You're good. Go home and take a nap.
Typical Jimmy B. Wishes he was John Beeline. Instead, he's Jim Boeheim.
There is a team in Detroit that could be looking for a new head coach that does have a Boeheim on it.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, absolutely not. Are you smoking crack? God bless
It's
you.
like
man.
Eastern Michigan's going to hire Jim Boeheim.
Wow. Where's Campy going? Oakland. Patrick Ewing's Hoyas lost in the Big East. Blown out. Georgetown last place, 7-25. They lost to Nova, 80-48. Patrick Ewing's got to be out. Look, 6 seasons in, 75-109 as the coach of the program. He led them to 3 Final Fours and a national title in the old Big East. He's not the guy. I feel bad for
the
Georgetown.
Big East to kind of step back up. So, like, Georgetown needs to be good again. St. John's needs to be good again.
I don't know if they're ever good again, man.
I don't know. Yeah.
I was thinking, that's weird.
Unless
that
they
you brought this
get
up.
some, like, not young coach, but some proven coach that's at a small school. I don't know. I'll just throw out a team like Iona. I don't know who their coach is, but maybe they could, like, grab someone from there. And then.
Who'd you have in mind?
I don't know.
Partner? Huh. It's an interesting. Iona.
Bring Rick
decides-
Pitino to the Big East, all right? Just throw it out there. Georgetown, St. John's, hire Rick Pitino.
Look, God bless the Big East. Marquette.
St. John's Rick Pitino would be great.
Why doesn't he go
it.
to Providence? Marquette, Xavier, Creighton, UConn. All right, yes, like they're still good, right? They still have 4 top 25 teams. That's still great. Nova, obviously, they were going to take a step back without Jay Wright. I mean, they know what it is. He's doing a great job on TV. That's fine. Butler had an off year. I don't know if St. John's.
Butler's had like 8 off years in a row.
Yeah. But 6-14 in conference play. I expect that to be just a little bit better. Coaching matters, though, I suppose. You have, I don't know if, like UConn's UConn, they've kind of withstood some of the tests. Marquette is Marquette, Xavier. Like,
Yeah, Xavier now with Sean Miller back there.
That's big.
Like, that's going to be huge. But for the rest of the Big East, it's like we need someone to annoy Sean Miller. That's what the Big East needs.
Hey, shout out to former Toledo and Michigan assistant DeAndre Haynes, now working at Marquette. You know who Marquette's head coach is, right? Shaka, baby. And look at them. Right back in the top 10 in the country. Some guys just win. Calvin Ridley admits he made a stupid mistake betting on NFL games. No, you don't say. Will John Morant say the same? Find out later. The Arizona Cardinals have released wide receiver Chosen Robbie Anderson. Did you know that he changed his name to Chosen Robbie Anderson? Or maybe he didn't change it. Maybe that's what it's always been. But having a first name of Chosen is so ridiculously stupid that he just skipped ever saying it. But now, as a professional, he can bring it out there. Did you know it was Chosen Robbie Anderson?
No, I didn't. When did this? It had to have happened postseason, correct? Because I don't think he went by that at all.
Yeah, I remember seeing something about this a couple months ago and then completely forgot about it because it's absolutely ridiculous.
Chosen Ryan Elke. 2 men who were in Phoenix in the hotel lobby the night Hall of Fame wide receiver Michael Irvin was accused of misconduct with a female employee said Wednesday they didn't feel or see him that he did anything wrong, and his brief interaction with the woman appeared friendly. Less than a minute. They took him off the network. They slandered Michael Irvin. They took his name and rubbed it in the dirt. He should bring the house down on everybody. Stop doing this dumb stuff. Jeez Louise. Somebody else is getting painted in a fraudulent case, too. Who is it? Oh, Tiger. Tiger's ex-girlfriend's going crazy now. She wants the NDA and this, that, and the third. And she wants $30 million in damages. Huh? For what? Get out of here. You've been on a scholarship for how many years on that free ride? Hey, somebody's got to protect us. Today, I declare International Men's Day. I am here to carry the flag for us. I will not let Tiger Woods pay $30 million to somebody who's just hanging out.
I thought you were
Get
going
outta
to
here.
declare bankruptcy like Michael Scott. I didn't know where you were going with that.
We'll step aside. More X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis,
From
Missouri.
planting a simple seed to managing a global food supply, growing, processing, and distributing food is the backbone of America. You deal with food safety and labor issues, cost control, and not to mention Mother Nature. But do you have time to explore research development and biotechnical tax credits? Properly administer payroll for temporary employees. Ensure that you're operating at your most profitable? That's where we come in. We're Bean Garter. And while your business is America's food supply, our business is helping you run your business better. We'll assist with tax credits, assess your processes and controls, and so much more. And while we may not be able to help you plant your crops, we can help you realize a rich financial harvest. From the family farm to worldwide distribution of all the things you grow, grow your business better. Experience service, expertise, and simplicity at Bean Garter. Find us online, beangarter.com. Bean Garter.
Get more for your money at Meijer. Right now, mix or match over 1,000 items and pay just $1 each when you buy 7 of items like extra large avocados, select varieties of Campbell's condensed soup, and select Body Armor's super drink. Plus, it's double points week. Earn 2 times the points for every dollar you spend through M-Perks. No clip necessary. Get more for your money this week at Meijer. See all the deals in the Meijer app. Excludes fuel.
Share your thoughts all morning long on the Meyer guest line. Call 248-951-2176. That's 248-951-2176. Now, back to Danny, Ryan, and AB.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you right along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. From Traverse City down to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City, we say good morning to you. Welcome you, thank you, appreciate you, and of course, encourage you to join the program at any time. Call us, use the Meyer Supercenter guest line, 248-951-2176. That's where you find New York Scott, a.k.a. Goldberg. What's going on over there? Scott.
Hey, what's up? You got me on? You got me?
I can hear you. Yeah. What's going on? Anything good?
Yeah. So, hey, first, a little advice I'm looking for because I've never been. So I'm not a big basketball guy, but I'm taking the kids to the Pistons game on Saturday. Any special hints or tricks or things I need to know about the arena, what to do, where to go, anything like that?
Do you want to eat at the arena and enjoy that, or do you want to go somewhere else to eat before the game?
Probably before the game, I think,
Oh, Slow's Barbecue.
Slow's Barbecue. All right.
Slow's Barbecue. Yeah, it's not within walking distance of the arena. It's over in Corktown, but it's a Detroit staple that is fabulous. I love it. Triple threat pork sandwich. Get that. Dan, Ryan, any suggestions you want to throw up on the food wall? Give Scott and his kids some options here.
Ooh, food. Sorry, before Detroit, Dan's on the phone talking to someone else.
Of course he is. He doesn't care about Scott. He's just on the phone talking to the next person. It's always about what's next. You can never enjoy what's right now. I said Slows.
Slows is a good one. Yeah. Trying to think of what's that bar next to LCA always. Founders.
Grey Ghost?
Founders.
You're looking for
right there on the street and walk right over to LCA for free.
You're looking for a bar by LCA?
Oh, he's got kids. They're looking for a little bite to eat beforehand.
Oh, second best, Detroit.
Okay, second best?
Second best. It's on the other side of Woodward, but you can walk to LCA from there.
I was going to say, you could do Grey Ghost, too.
Yeah, it's right. It's 100 feet from Grey Ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, you have kids. What's that? Detroit Shipping Yard, I think.
Oh, that's a cool place.
It has like 7 different types of restaurants and in there, so you can get like burgers, you can get your Jamaican food, you can get some Thai food. Like, it's a mix of everything. So if you all aren't agreeing on something, which if you have kids, they never agree on what they want to eat, so everyone can kind of get a little bit of their own. So
all right. Hey, thanks. So
and enjoy LCA. Walk around a little bit, see the sights. It's a beautiful building. It really is.
Yeah, I'm such a novice when it comes to basketball. I'm telling you, I don't even know who's on the lineup besides when I listen to you guys in the morning about
nobody does.
Playing well, but I know. So, but hey, good for me. The tickets are cheap. It's like
absolutely.
I thought I got half court tickets right on the first level of the. I don't know what's that little section, that little mezzanine section that goes around, but it's not the big one. It's not way up top. It's right in that middle row or whatever. But. It's like $30 a ticket or something. I can't beat that. A couple $100 I'm in, a hotel, a couple $100 in food. I mean, going to Detroit to see a sporting event for a family of 5 under $600. I'm not mad at that. So
no, that's a steal. I mean, that's the best part about the fact that they stink. They got some guy right now named Eugene playing. Wait till you see Eugene. Where's 97? Wait till you see this guy.
Okay. All right.
Might be the best thing we have going. I'd say his last name. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. I mean, the kids were a little jealous that we ditched them and went to Puerto Rico, so I was like, well, whatever. So we got that this weekend. We got Monster Jam next weekend, and we'll see what's going on after that. But so anyways, I heard you guys talking some good smack about DJ's contract. I mean, am I happy it's 40? Do I think it should have been $35 million a year? Sure. But what are your options?
You were really hoping for 20 somehow?
Yeah, like, can we get that's a crazy amount of money for Daniel Jones, Scott. That's ridiculous.
But you got to look at the so put your GM hat on.
It's on right now.
Jones. You franchise tag him, which is $32 million hard against the cap, or you sign him, and his deal right now is only $19 million against the cap. Sure, it escalates a little bit after, but then the money's going to go up next year to $30 million increase in salary anyways. So, it's not going to be too bad. It gives us the option to tag Saquon. So now we got our two guys, and then we still have $20 million left to play with in free agency and signing the rookie class and everything else. Am I super excited about it? I loved it would be a couple million shorter than that. But
Scott, do you think he's the guy?
I think he could be the guy. Is he the guy now? No. I think he could be the guy. I think he could be. The difference is, I don't watch another team often enough to know the little things. Like, you want to know that Daniel Jones escaped sacks probably out 27 times and picked up first downs on third downs due to his feet. You compared him to Jared Goff. I mean, that guy has ironclad boots on.
No, we've all seen Daniel Jones run. We've all seen him run and trip over the 5-yard line. That dude can run. I don't have. Oh, sorry. Too early. Turf monster. Ooh, we know he can run. Come on.
He was running 23 miles an hour. He was outrunning safeties and cornerbacks, and he trips.
He was running so fast he couldn't. His brain couldn't keep up with his legs. I hate when that happens.
He adds another dynamic level. I guarantee you he's better than Goff for the simple fact if you put Daniel Jones on the Lions with their line, a decent running game, which they have, and way better wide receivers, which I think is not even a question, he outperforms Jared. You go to the playoffs. If Daniel Jones was on your team last year, you're a playoff team. The difference is Goff didn't get you there, right? He had St. Brown, you got the two-headed running game, you got the top 5, if not top 3 offensive line in the league. They give him all the time in the world. They open holes for your running game. They make Goff better than he is. If you put Goff on the Giants, he's in the backfield getting sacked every 2 times because we have no offensive line. He has no one to throw it to. You hand it to Saquon, well, guess what? No crap. Everyone's going to blow up the line, and you're going to have 8, 9 guys in the box every single play because they know they're going to get through. The difference is Daniel Jones can escape that. Therefore, they have to respect it, and they can't just send the heat every time because he'll come out the back end or he'll dump it over the top on you. So I think if you switch those 2 quarterbacks, Giants don't go to the playoffs, and the Lions definitely go to the playoffs. That's the difference. Like, you're looking at it, stat for stat, but, like, let's look at situational. Like, there's no comparison. If Jones was on the Lions, your team improves immediately. Would you agree?
No.
You're crazy.
Maybe I am crazy. Maybe I am nuts. Maybe I'm certifiably insane. That all of those things could be true. But, I mean, I watched us put up almost 40 against the Eagles. I think we scored 35 against the Eagles. What'd you guys do against Philly?
I know. I was there. I was there in person. I remember that game. I was rooting for the Lions for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Goff just doesn't seem to have the it factor, man. Like, he can play a consistent game, which is great. What is it, 4,300, 4,400 yards, 27 touchdowns, 65% completion ratio, and a whopping 4.3 yards per game.
Hey, that's up from like 2.6 yards per throw last year. All right, we're making progress. He's finally trusting receivers down the field. You're talking about a two-headed monster. You guys got Saquon Barkley. We haven't had a running back that good in 20 years.
That's true, but they have no line to run behind, right? You can have the most. Look at Barry Sanders. I mean, that guy had to work for every inch he had because he had no line. If you would have had the line you have today with a Barry Sanders you had before, that guy runs for 2,000 yards every season. There's not even a doubt in my mind. Like, Swift is running through holes. He doesn't even have to be Swift. He just has to walk through the open hole that your massive linemen are just opening up. He's not even getting contact till the second level. Like, you put Saquon on that, oh, my God. Like, if he's one-on-one on the linebacker, he's gone every time.
I'll trade you Jamal Williams for Saquon right now.
I bet you would. And then let's swap offensive lines and let's see what happens. Because
and you give us Daniel Jones.
Yeah, we'll take Goff and Jamal, and you take Jones and Barkley, and we'll switch lines too. We'll probably end up about the same because you guys you'll understand what pressure looks like when no one can block for more than 1.3 seconds.
We know what that looks like. We've had the offensive line.
Your line is great.
Now it's great because we got a GM that's drafted, and we're investing in the offensive line. Scott, we drafted Penei Sewell last year, and people wanted to trade away our left tackle because we drafted another tackle, trade him away. We got to look to the future, they said.
Yeah, there's always idiots out there.
Ridiculous.
You got to disregard the white noise. It's like, don't you want 2 bookend tackles? Wasn't that the plan when you draft one, not to have just one?
Scott from ESPN. Why's it got to be white noise? No, I'm teasing you. I'm playing with you. Hey, we got to step aside. We'll be back with more X's and Bros. Appreciate you. Drive safe out there. Enjoy Little Caesars. Jay and Kalamazoo, don't go anywhere. Stay right there. We'll be right back. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Br0's. They are one of America's top accounting and business firms, and they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew from the east side of Michigan. If you're a small business, big business, and you're looking for the professionals who can help your business on any tax or business need you have, go to BeanGarter.com. That is BeanGarter.com. And we're close to March Madness, so be looking for our huge bracket challenge where you could win big cash, courtesy of Tom Rosenbach and his team from Br0's. We'll have more details in the coming weeks. But if you're a business decision maker or owner and you're looking for professionals to help your business, contact Tom Rosenbach and his team at Br0's. BeanGarter.com.
Get more for your money at Meijer. Right now, mix or match over 1,000 items and pay just $1 each when you buy 7 of items like extra large avocados, select varieties of Campbell's condensed soup, and select Body Armor's super drink. Plus, it's double points week. Earn 2 times the points for every dollar you spend through M-Perks. No clip necessary. Get more for your money this week at Meijer. See all the deals in the Meijer app. Excludes fuel.
Imagine this. Winning big at Soaring Eagle. Get nothing but nets and win up to $15,000 cash. It's the $100,000 Hoop to Win every Saturday in March, 6 to 11 p.m. Shoot to win each week. And on March 25th, players compete for up to $15,000. The $100,000 Hoop to Win giveaway. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway. Reimagine. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Can't call in? Text us using the keyword sports radio and send it to 21000 or tweet us at XB Mornings. Now back to Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, and Anthony Bellino.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros on this Thursday morning. Good morning to all of you. Let's get out to Jay in KZoo. Wants to talk a little Western Michigan hoops. Jay, good morning to you, my friend. How are you, partner?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Sorry for making you hold on this long.
Yeah.
I feel bad I made you wait this long. Go ahead, my man. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. It's great background music blaring in my ear. So, yeah, I want to talk about Western Michigan basketball. You know, I'm sure there's not a lot of people that are as interested as I am. I've done the research. I know all the big donors. I've talked to the coaches, talked to the fans. I know everything there is to know about, for the most part, their program. And I want to get your guys' take. I'll give you my take, and I want your guys' take. And it has something to do with the NIL, too, which I hate. I absolutely hate it. Now, I foresee, because of the NIL, we in the tournament will no longer have, quote-unquote, a sleeper team. They're only going to be big conference teams that go to the Final Four, 8, or 16. So there's not going to be any more College of Charleston or Florida Gulf Coast because of the NIL and the money. Okay? That's just my opinion, and I think you guys would probably agree to that. Now, Western Michigan basketball. Apparently, they are the only school in the MAC without a practice facility. And, however, and that's part of the reason why they keep losing. However, they've won in the past. So, I'm so tired of hearing these excuses. Yeah, they have a new coach. And, yeah, the coach they got, super nice guy, talked to him many times. He coached under Izzo for many, many years, okay? Now, I'm going to throw something out there. If he was that good of a coach, which he very well might be, why did it take him this long to get a head coaching job, okay? Second thing is look at Western, Central, and Eastern. Like you said, Western lost to a Division II school last year at home by 20 points. Why is it that Kent State, Ohio, Toledo, they're all in Ohio, can produce winning teams, you know, all argumental, like to go to the NIT at least, but Western Central cannot. And I'm so tired of hearing the excuses. I'm so tired of, we don't have a practice facility. Our weight room sucks. Our locker room sucks. I mean, I've been in them. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I've been in Michigan State's facilities. I mean, it's like the Taj Mahal comparatively. But I guess I just don't get it. I'm so tired of. I'm not even going to say being, you know, mediocrity. I'm tired of them sucking, and I'm tired of them, you know. And there's no fans anymore. I'm like the only one. So I don't know if you guys follow it. I mean, I'm sure no one really chimes in and talks about it. You know, I'm probably few and far between, which, hey, if there's anybody else that, you know, has input, I'd love to hear about it. But I'm just tired of them sucking. And
Jay in Kalamazoo is like, he set up a flare for the Western Michigan Broncos fans to rally, to unite under that Bronco over there at Waldo Stadium. I think the issue with Eastern is the easily identified because they will always be in Ann Arbor's shadow. So what Chris Creighton has done there at Eastern Michigan for football, for them to even finish over 500 is incredible to me. In basketball, not a snowball's chance in hell. Basketball this year was a very good way to, I think you could use the 22-23 Eastern Michigan Eagles, use them as an example to every youth basketball team across the country, because it doesn't matter how much talent you assemble. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And there is no reason that team in Eastern Michigan should have been 8-23 this season. But they got a bunch of me first, Bunch of me first kind of guys that are not, they don't care about team. They care about me. They care about my brand. They care about what I'm doing, where I'm at, how many points, my shots, this, that, and third. They don't play defense. They don't even run offense. Like it's like that coaching staff, I would clean house. I would clean house and start all over. Central Michigan's a little strange because, recruiting would be a little bit more challenging just because there's nothing really around Mount Pleasant. But you think about Western Michigan, right? Where are they trying to recruit from? Who are they trying to recruit, right? You got to be good. And Jason Candle always says this at Toledo, the football coach. So you got to be good 50-mile radius. First off, anybody who's good in your radius, you have to be able to keep them, home, basically. So can Western Michigan recruit West Michigan very, very well? That's where I would put my first, if I was Dwayne Stevens, the head coach, the best player out of Grand Rapids or Muskegon, whoever the number one player is, we got to have him. Because when we get that guy, now all of a sudden we have a local fan interest into keeping track of, whatever happened to Jay, the kid from Kalamazoo? Like, he's putting up 20 a night. Well, let's go check him out. I watched him in high school. My kid played against him, right? You got to get some of those homegrown talents. I also think you have to heavily hit Chicago, and you got to get into Indiana. Those two areas right there. You have to be able to recruit well there. I don't think NIL at the MAC level is going to play that big of a role.
It will.
I just don't see it.
I think just keeping sustained success for keeping players around for 4 years. Like, I think that will be an issue of, like, you see a kid, he showed out. He had 25 points this year.
Vanderplas at Ohio going to Virginia.
Yeah, and then they'll get poached into the transfer portal. So I don't know if, like, year after year you'll be seeing, a MAC team like, hey, they've had 25 wins for 7 straight years. It's like, they had 25 wins. Then they had 18, then 16, now back up to 25 because they got a nice kid in and developed him, and then he left for some other school.
Right. I guess I could agree with it, but I don't. If a kid's gonna make a jump, because I think the transfer portal might hurt worse than NIL, just because guys want an opportunity to play at the highest level so that they can be seen. I think that's very important for all of them. And then for Western Michigan, when I watched them this year, I mean, they look dysfunctional. It looks like, when your head coach is trying to get something accomplished but knows in the back of his mind, I can't do it with these guys. So I would hang tight. You did get, don't act like the money's not there. I believe he flew in a private jet from East Lansing to Kalamazoo. So I'm just saying, just throwing that out there. Like, I think that somebody came up with a little bit of cheddar. But I think that mid-majors as a whole will struggle in today's new world. However, they are going to make Sweet 16s. There's going to be somebody that's going to make an Elite 8. Somebody will make a Final Four that's not a high major program just because the odds of it, you only need to be good 40 minutes at a time. One good bounce can change anything in the tournament, and that's why we love it, and that's why it's heartbreaking. But, Jay, man, I appreciate the call. I'm glad that you and I and we could all together here discuss a little action.
You mind if I give one more comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so let's think about this. He flew on a private jet from Lansing to Kalamazoo. Lansing to Kalamazoo. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It takes an hour and 15 minutes.
It was a show of force, Jay, is what it was. It was a show.
That's why don't you show
puff
force.
your chest up.
Okay, no. Show force with something else. It's just, it was for show. Hey, look at me.
Yeah.
But no, it could have gotten a limo or anything. I mean, drive your butt down here. Yeah, I mean, that's nothing. That's small potatoes. We used to recruit Indiana guys, okay? Hawkins would recruit Indiana guys who would play fundamental basketball. Now we have athletes who don't play together. Now, granted, they weren't his players. He did not recruit them, okay? But still, I mean, they're terrible. They're absolutely terrible.
And Jay, I'll tell you this: when you mention that right there, fundamental basketball versus athletes, right? At the youth level, you gotta put the fun in fundamentals, right? Because every young kid wants to play as if they have this innate ability to dunk and they have all this strength at 10 years old to shoot from 30 feet. You got to hammer it out of them, but you got to find a way to make it fun. And I see a lot of these youth basketball videos that come in. I see a lot of the way that the players are acting, right? I see a lot of the way that the coaches are behaving themselves at some of these tournaments. The parents, it's a plague, it is an epidemic that is worse than anything else in this country. It is like COVID times a billion. It's way worse than that because this is a mindset and mentality that needs to be broken, and it's plaguing our country is what it is. And it all starts with fundamentals, Jay.
Yeah, I agree. And, how long do we wait?
Oh, you got to give him at least 3 or 4 years. Wow. You got to give him. Come on, Jay. You can't let him go after 30 games.
Listen, okay, this is how dumb their, the upper management or whatever, AD, whatever you want to say. They hired, during COVID, they couldn't reach out and find the coach they wanted. However, they settled with their assistant coach, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You just set him up for disappointment. How much disrespect can you say, well, we're going to settle on our assistant coach? We don't have time to look. You know
who they wanted. They wanted Sadi Washington.
I know they did.
That's crazy, right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, we got to keep hitting the phone lines.
Right.
Scott's on hold. We appreciate the call, though, my friend. Get some action today. Starts at 11 a.m. ESPN+. There he goes. By the way, Mark Sears was another one. Left Ohio, goes to Alabama. He's from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, so that kind of made sense. But Sears is a guy who's averaging 20 a night in the MAC. His average does drop because, his field goal attempts dropped. He's averaging 5 less attempts per game. But he goes from averaging 20 a night in the MAC to 13 points, along with 4 rebounds and 3 assists for Alabama, one of the top teams in the country. Started all 31 games. He's playing 30 minutes a night. Like, Sears is another one. But you got that opportunity, boom, make that jump.
Also, maybe with Dwayne Stevens taking that private jet, maybe he was just flying into the airport where all the kids learn how to fly at Western Michigan, and he was helping promote their aviation program.
Let's get to USDA.
It's called synergy. All right, Jay.
Let's get to USDA. Scott, my friend, good morning to you, partner.
Hey, buddy. Hey, first of all, I'll give Jay and Kalamazoo a little background. Dude has not taken a job in the 20 years he's been there because he was supposedly, hopefully, in his mind, the heir apparent to Tommy.
The coach in waiting.
And, yeah, he was, and now it's not. It's oh goodness, the other kid that's on the assistant staff, Ryan. You know who I'm talking about. Lefty, the other black young man.
Mark Montgomery?
Yeah, Montgomery.
Yeah, no thanks. I saw him at NIU.
Yeah, him and Northern Illinois was terrible.
I know, but
you got to win there.
He might be the guy.
No.
But anyhow, as far as Western and Central,
Scott, hold on. Hold the fort. You can't stink at NIU and then get the job
you
at Michigan
can't talk
State.
to 2 MAC school graduates and say Mark Montgomery's going to be an heir apparent at a Big Ten school.
I mean, I hope so. Hire him right now. Hire him right now. I'm with it.
I think I know the Michigan State coaching staff a little bit better than you guys, but
do you? Wow.
Do I? Yeah. I'll give you a phone number after we get off the air. The thing of it is, I don't know who's going to get that job, but Dude didn't think he was going to be the guy, so he had to take a job. He wanted to take a job. He wanted to be the man. Give him a little chance. I don't know what he's going to be as a coach. He's never been a head coach. So that's for that. Secondly, you were talking about the NCAA tournament. And the NCAA tournament gets 400 million viewers in those 2 weekends. 400 million viewers.
Not even as much as the most popular cricket match in the world between India and Pakistan, but I digress. Go ahead.
Oh, you're a goofball.
I swear to God. Look it up.
Yeah, but he gets a heck of a lot more than the Final Four of football.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
So anyway, and truthfully, it's 240 million on that first weekend viewership because the ancillary fans, the part-time fans, they love to see the little guy win. Anybody likes to see the little guy win. So anyhow, that's my take on the NCAA. And then, hey, for Scott and New York Scott, there is no way I would trade. No way I would trade. I don't care if you gave me money, I wouldn't trade Goff for Daniel Jones. Goff is 42, 37 and 1 as a starter. And that's with a 3-10 and 1 starting record last year. And our system is so much different than theirs. We don't have the defense they do. We can't run the football 3 times and punt. We have to score by throwing. And if you want to take Daniel Jones' arm against Goff, I don't see it.
I don't see it either. I'm glad we got that out of the way, Scott, because now I got a very important question for you. If you're a college head coach, what's the benchmark? Let's say everybody plays out 30, 31 games a season. How many games you got to win in a season to call that success? What do you say? What's a benchmark number? I have one in my mind. I want to hear what yours is.
Hold on. Big time program. Oh, and by the way, Western and Central also compete with 2 of the best Division II schools in the whole United States for both football and basketball in Ferris and Grand Valley. Those 2 programs are huge, and they get the guys that should be the 3, 4, 5, 6 option on Western and Central, and they end up going to be stars at Ferris or Grand Valley. But anyhow, the benchmark for a major program is usually consistency on making the tournament and competing for a regular season title. That should be and probably is the benchmark. But
what if you're a MAC coach?
For a MAC coach, I think a MAC coach, if you're gonna stay and be successful, you have to be in the top. I wouldn't settle for anything less than for a MAC coach and being in the top 4 every year. If you have that,
how many wins you got to get in a season? What's the benchmark? Come on, give me the number. What's the benchmark? How many wins you got? What do you call success? 20 wins? Is that the number?
Major program, 20 wins.
20 wins.
Minor program.
Mark Montgomery was a coach at Northern Illinois for a decade and won 20 games one time. One time, Scott. One time.
For a decade. He was there for 6 years.
2011, 2012 to 2020, 2021. He won single-digit games 3 times. I worked there. I watched it happen.
I don't know. I'm not the president or the.
I am the president. I'm the chief of police right now. I'm the Department of Defense. I'm in the Pentagon right now, Scott. This is nuts. I mean, the greatest thing ever for Michigan to happen is Mark Montgomery get that job at Michigan State.
I don't see a replacement for Izzo in the foreseeable future. Maybe we'll see one emerge, and they're probably going to have to go with somebody from a mid-major or a major program.
Drew
that
Valentine.
Ooh. Hey, happy Valentine's Day to you. Scott, always appreciate the call. Love you, my friend. Happy Thursday. Hour 3 is next. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
It's time to go on the court with Anthony Bellino.
It's a new day to celebrate and be free. It's a new day full of action and excitement because it's a new day for winning only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. It's a new day. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com. Championship week is underway, and some teams like Gonzaga have already punched their ticket to the big dance. They would have been an at-large regardless if they didn't win the West Coast Conference Tournament, but at the local level, the Mid-American Conference Tournament on the men's side begins this morning. 8 of the 12 teams of the conference make the tournament. A nice little wrinkle to add a little extra emphasis on the regular season and avoid a treacherous upset early on in the MAC tourney. The Toledo Rockets will go for their 16th consecutive win as they tip off at 11 a.m. against 8-seeded Miami. Number 5, Ohio gets the 4-seeded Ball State Cardinals at 1:30. Number 6, Buffalo against number 3, Akron at 6:30. And 2nd-seeded Kent State against the 7th-seed NIU in the nightcap. What's missing from the MAC tournament? All 3 Michigan MAC teams. The 3 schools combine Western, Central, and Eastern for just 26 wins on the season, or 1 less than both Toledo and Kent State.
The new M-Perks is here. Reward yourself with dollars off your purchases, fuel rewards, and more at Meijer. Earn 10 points on nearly every dollar you spend when you shop in-store or on Meijer.com. Then use your points to claim and redeem rewards any way you want. Plus, earn points for every qualifying prescription filled at your Meijer pharmacy. Download the Meijer app to sign up, or if you're already using M-Perks, start earning points and saving today. Save more with M-Perks. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com to learn more.
We might have just come out with our most refreshing Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer yet. It's called the Essential Collection. It's made with coconut water and real fruit juice, so it's always going to have a real refreshing fruit taste. Can refreshing get any more refreshing? Yep, it can, and it just did. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, made with coconut water and real fruit juice for a superior taste. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Br0's. They are one of America's top accounting and business firms, and they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew from the east side of Michigan. If you're a small business, big business, and you're looking for the professionals who can help your business on any tax or business need you have, go to BeanGarter.com. That is BeanGarter.com. And we're close to March Madness, so be looking for our huge bracket challenge where you could win big cash, courtesy of Tom Rosenbach and his team from Bean Garter. We'll have more details in the coming weeks. But if you're a business decision maker or owner and you're looking for professionals to help your business, contact Tom Rosenbach and his team at Bean Garter. BeanGarter.com.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Defended in the corner.
To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win. The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker. Kenny Walker. Touchdown. Spotty.
Goff's got it. Back. Looks. Throws. Ends up.
Yes.
Caught. Touchdown to Detroit Lions. They did it. Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end.
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here. A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Good Thursday morning to you. It is the 9th day of March 2023. March Madness is upon us. Championship week, Players Championship underway. Holy mackerel. Just had to reach out. Hey, we just got this text. Who sent this in there? Just had to reach out and say the last hour has been the best radio I've ever heard. Heard hot food recommendations and hot takes. Western Michigan Bronco here. Have a great day. You guys are killing it. Well, whoever you are, thank you. I'll tell you, USDA Scott's trying to kill Michigan State's program. I can tell you that much. That's what's going to be happening.
Bing bong.
Thought he was a Sparty. Apparently, he's trying to do some damage there. Hey, look, with all due respect, you're not going to hire somebody that had a winning percentage of 41% in the Mid-American Conference to be the next head coach of the Michigan State University Spartans. This is not going to happen. There's no way. I mean, I hope it does. Fine by me. Not going to bother me at all. It's good for me. But there's, it's just like anything else in life. You got to start small. You got to be good. You got to be good, and you got to be successful small. And then you get the next opportunity because you were good at where you were at, doing a little job, and then the job gets a little bit bigger, and you do a good job, and you get a little bit more responsibility. You're talking about, I don't know the correct parallel for the Mid-American Conference. I'm not really sure. But it would be like, I don't know. It'd be like moving from like entry level, like sales job, and then to get a job at the Big Ten would be like, CEO of said company. Like that. There's a wide gap. I'm a MAC guy. I've got friends that coach in the MAC. But the reality of the situation is in MAC basketball, their RPI as a conference is 19th.
It's like being a manager at your local McDonald's and then going and being asked to be the head chef at like
the Ritz
3-star Michelin restaurant.
Wow, 3 Michelin stars.
Yes.
That's
Tire company stars on restaurants.
That's going to be expensive.
But that's the parallel of like, hey, did you manage your McDonald's well? Well,
What if you didn't manage that well? What if you didn't take your local mom and pop restaurant that serves some spaghetti? Is spaghetti in here? It's serving some spaghetti. Now all of a sudden they want you to be the chef, at like She-Wolf downtown Detroit. Right? Prime and proper. That's where we're sending you. We're taking you from McDonald's to prime and proper. That's what you're looking at here. You're looking at a value menu feeding the family for $20 versus $20 won't even like get you in the. It might cost you 20 to. Might cost you $20 to park your car. Like that's what we're talking about here. No offense to I'm not trying to be offensive here. That's the other thing is that as someone who works,
we were
in the
offended
field,
first, so therefore we're being offensive back.
But somebody who works in the field, I see these people on a pretty regular basis. Like, unlike other people that work in radio that can say whatever they want because they never have to see anybody, at some point somebody might call me to task, and I have to present the facts. The facts are the guy had a decade at NIU. There's no debating that. His winning percentage was 41.3%. There's no debating that. Those are the numbers. 126 wins, 179 losses. 305 games. I got it right here in front of me. You can look at it too. sportsreference.com/CBB for college basketball. You tried to bait me. USDA, he wasn't there for a decade. He was there for a decade. Scott is out of his mind. Nobody wants Jones over Goff. That comes from Dev on Twitter. Thank you, Dev. Guy trips over the 10-yard line. I asked this question too late yesterday. What is a better credential to have on a quarterback resume, being a league MVP or being in the Super Bowl? Probably league MVP. Trent Dilfer went to a Super Bowl. I don't know if that happens again. It's happened before. But, yeah, I would say being the most valuable player in the league, being the best player in the league, regardless of position, is pretty incredible. That's a pretty good honor. Being the runner-up in the Super Bowl, it's cute and all. We can use it to our advantage when necessary. But, I don't know if that's better than league MVP. I don't think that Super Bowl loser is better than league MVP. Just my opinion. What else is going on in the sports world? We'll try to get you all caught up with all the happenings. We'll do so right now in the headlines.
Big news.
I have a little news flash.
Let's check the headlines. Nah, it's real news for once. The biggest stories of the local, regional, and national news.
This is huge news.
Scott ever give you that phone number to call? Say he was going to give us a phone number.
Yeah, the thing is, I already have that phone number.
Oh! I got the next coach in waiting for Michigan State right here. Jim Boeheim is out after 47 seasons at Syracuse. Why are we talking about coach in waiting? Tom Izzo's not leaving. He's not leaving anytime soon. He's got his best recruiting class ever coming in. You kidding me? That guy's going to be there.
Pat Narduzzi's the coach in waiting. Oh, wait.
Old Narduzzi.
Nardog.
All like, oh, you think the Big Ten's good. Yeah. Patrick Ewing and the Hoyas, they lost the Big East. Terrible blowout in their tournament, 48-80. He's got to be done. Patrick Ewing, see you later. It worked as a player, 3 Final Fours, national championship, but it's time to go. This just cannot carry on.
Who do you want as your head coach?
Mark
Montgomery or Patrick Ewing?
Calvin Ridley, quote, I made a stupid mistake betting on NFL games. Yeah, you did. Cost you an entire season. No paychecks because you deposited $1,500. The Arizona Cardinals released wide receiver chosen Robbie Anderson. It doesn't matter to me that he was released. The only reason I pulled this up is because I was like, what do you mean they released a guy named, Robbie Anderson from Temple? His name is chosen, allegedly. It doesn't make any sense because if it's chosen Robbie Anderson in the article, but you click on his name and it's just Robbie Anderson. So which one is it? Michael Irvin, according to witnesses, had a friendly encounter with the woman that cost him his week on NFL Network during the Super Bowl. Irvin has filed a $100 million defamation lawsuit against this woman known as Jane Doe and a Marriott International Incorporated, alleging a false misconduct claim back on February 5th. Got him kicked out of the Renaissance Phoenix downtown hotel, removed from NFL Network Super Bowl week coverage, and it was an assault on his character. Sue that woman. Do not let her get away with this. Where's the closed circuit television? This is preposterous. Giants are working on Saquon Barkley and Dexter Lawrence deals because they've got Daniel Jones, the old Danny Dimes, locked up. Can't wait for him to lead the New York Giants to another 9-win season. Then people can tell me how great he is. Kevin Durant was out last night after injuring his ankle in a pregame slip and fall. Should have called Sam is what should have happened. But he fell. He's going to get that MRI. Very excited. This was supposed to be his first game at home. Pretty nuts. Devin Booker. Sure, the crowd might have been disappointed. He went for 44 on 17 of 23 shooting. That is outrageous. Colorado police say that no charges will be filed for Ja Morant. The Grizzlies star is going to remain out, so he's not going to be charged by police. What happens now? The NBA's got to look and see where he found that little pea shooter at. Where did he get it? Was it on the team playing? If so, he could get up to 50 games suspension, according to the CBA. And also, according to league sources, Steven Adams called a players-only team meeting prior to this event, talking about conduct on the road, behavior on the road, And John Morant went out, and that's probably why he was doing that whole thing. It was just to show Steven Adams that the rules don't apply to me. Ha! You loser. And that's all we got for the headlines. We'll step aside. Back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archive boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Get nothing but nets and win up to $15,000 cash. It's the $100,000 Hoop to Win every Saturday in March, 6 to 11 p.m. Shoot to win each week. And on March 25th, players compete for up to $15,000. The $100,000 Hoop to Win giveaway. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
The new M-Perks is here. Reward yourself with dollars off your purchases, fuel rewards, and more at Meijer. Earn 10 points on nearly every dollar you spend when you shop in-store or on Meijer.com. Then use your points to claim and redeem rewards any way you want. Plus, earn points for every qualifying prescription filled at your Meijer pharmacy. Download the Meijer app to sign up, or if you're already using M-Perks, start earning points and saving today. Save more with M-Perks. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com to learn more.
listening to Michigan's statewide morning show, X's and Bros, right here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you ride along with us. I did not know this, but did you know, I saw this yesterday, Mike Tyson, when he's like, I'm the most brutal, most vicious, most ruthless champion there's ever been. That interview, when he said he dedicates this fight to his friend who had just died and he didn't train because his friend, that friend that Mike Tyson is referencing is allegedly the shooter who shot 50 Cent 9 times. That's the guy. And then, because his name was Homicide something, that's a common name here. It was 50 Cent who said something along the lines of, Homo shot me, 3 weeks later, he got shot down. That was prior to that fight. Right? And then Mike Tyson allegedly put a bounty for the shooter of his buddy, Mr. Homicide.
So basically, we're talking the get rich or die trying was true. Like,
so Mike Tyson puts a $50,000, it was covered in the papers, $50,000 bounty on the individual who kills his friend. 50 Cent says in a song on that album, I heard about the 50 grand you put in the hood, as in the neighborhood. Years later, 50 Cent would buy Mike Tyson's house. How crazy is that? What a story. That's a great album. If you haven't heard it, I'm all about great storytellers. Tell me a story. Fantasyland. All right.
J. Cole.
J. Cole?
J. Cole's a great storyteller. Are you disagreeing with me?
Yeah, he is. He is. What's the song I'm thinking of where he goes through his adolescent years?
Yeah, like the intro to his I can't think Cole World. I can't think of what the.
Don't say this to James Edwards, by the way. He's a big J. Cole hater.
Yeah. James and I, we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things.
Well, it's probably because you're taller.
Not much. I don't know if you've ever. James is tall.
Really?
Oh, he might be taller than me. He's very tall.
Oh, is he like 6'5"?
He's at least 6'3".
Tweet that out. How tall is James Edwards? Let's see if we can get him to respond. All right, we didn't do this in hour 2, segment 2, so we'll do it here in hour 3, segment 2. It is time for Detroit Lions trivia. Which Lions legend is one of only 4 players in NFL history to rush for 200-plus yards and 2 touchdowns in a game 3 or more times in his career? Not who you think it is.
Can you 3 or more?
200 yards in a game, plus 2 touchdowns 3 or more times in your career. A lot of qualifiers there. You need 2 Bills. You need to go across the goal line 2 times or more. And you got to do that 3 times.
Sims.
This is probably like some running back from 2005 or 6 that we're just going to be so mad. I have no idea.
What if I said it is who you think it is?
Oh, Barry Sanders. Don't do that to us, Anthony. You can't lie to us and then... You can't lie!
I thought maybe you thought it'd be...
Lions running back record. Where do you think our head's going at? So he said, hey, it's not who you think it is. All right, we'll go to the next greatest Lions running back. And if it's not that, it's like, oh, is it James Stewart? Did we black out for those 4 years after?
Is it Jungle Jim Martin? Did he pull this off while blowing up sea mines in the Pacific Theater before joining the Detroit Lions? Man, yeah, that was bad. I knew when I said it, I was like, I shouldn't have said that. I do want to bring this up real quick because We haven't necessarily talked about it. And the Players' Championship is happening this weekend. That little guy that looks like the weasel off of Ice Age is all like, I live here in the at Ponte Vedra, and I don't know if I'm going to be out here. I'd like to go watch and blah, blah, blah. And I don't really care. Anyways.
Wow. Are you talking about the best golfer in the world?
John Rahm? No, we know who John Rahm is.
Oh, okay.
You have another? Does John Rahm look like the weasel from Ice Age? No, Cameron Smith does. That little ratty, what's that thing called? A mullet? Oh, God, cut your hair. God, anyways. So Jay Monahan says that this Live Golf Tour shenanigans and Saudi Dan and his little everybody gets a paycheck thing. You don't have to work for it. Just show up and hit some balls. Doesn't matter if you shoot 64 or 164. Everybody gets paid. The PGA has adjusted some things. And they're going to have some limited fields for some events, 70 to 80 players, no cuts. And it sounds, the Live Golf Tour Twitter said, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Speaking to these reporters ahead of the Players' Championship, Monahan said that despite some of the changes in the PGA Tour's model for 2024 and beyond, it's still vastly different from Live. He said, quote, I would ask you, do you really think we look the same? The players that are competing in our events in this new format next year will have earned the right to compete in them, and they will have earned it through top 50 position in the FedEx Cup this year, as well as their performance in the fall and ultimately in these swings. In these swings? What kind of swing are you doing?
Unless, you're not, unless you don't earn it and you're just picked because you're one of the really good amateurs in college. No comment.
What?
Okay.
For what? One of these events?
Yeah.
Are there going to be sponsor exemptions?
I'm sure. I'm probably not in those events. I'm talking about the events that he's saying everybody plays themselves into, which really is not.
Which
the
would be
case
these
a lot
events?
Of the time. Oh, the
you got to play yourself into these
upper echelon events. I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to play into those.
Correct. And so starting in next year, 2024, the tour is planning to have 16 designated events, 4 majors, the Players, 3 FedEx Cup playoff events, field sizes, formats for those 8 tournaments don't change. The other 8 designated events include the Genesis, which hosted by Arnold Palmer, the Memorial, Jack Nicklaus hosts. They have limited fields, 70 to 80 players, no cuts. Tournament of Champions in Hawaii will be another event, 50 to 60 players, no cuts. The other 4 designated events haven't yet been designated. Okay. I can dig it. I can understand.
I was looking through the internet and found some news on this Tiger Woods story that is great, that you'll just love.
Oh, do share.
When Woods and his now ex-girlfriend broke up and was removed from the house, Tiger Woods told her, hey, we're going to go on a vacation. She packed for the airport, and that's when the lawyers informed her that she was kicked out of the house. He told her to go on vacation and change the locks.
Bing bong.
Tell me he's not already your hero without telling me he's not your hero.
He did things right. He goes, hey, you get your money you put into the accounts in the house. Here's it all back. I'm going to pay for you to stay in a hotel while you get your life together. But come get your things. You're out.
Oh, my God. That's how he did it. That's how he did it. He says, here's all your money out of the accounts that you might have put in.
Yeah, it was roughly like 40 grand of cash in like accounts. Said, hey, you can come get your things.
He probably said, here's 300 grand, leave me alone.
Paid for her to stay in a hotel. Like, he goes, you can stay in a hotel as long as you need until you find somewhere else. I'll pay for it, but...
I can be your hero, baby.
Tiger Woods for president, folks.
I can kiss away the pain.
Tiger Woods. Go on vacation, sweetheart. We're here with the Magic Johnson. I'm not going to be there. We're back with more X's and Bros after this show, the Michigan Sports Network.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The new M-Perks is here. Reward yourself with dollars off your purchases, fuel rewards, and more at Meijer. Earn 10 points on nearly every dollar you spend when you shop in-store or on Meijer.com. Then use your points to claim and redeem rewards any way you want. Plus, earn points for every qualifying prescription filled at your Meijer pharmacy. Download the Meijer app to sign up, or if you're already using M-Perks, start earning points and saving today. Save more with M-Perks. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com to learn more.
Huge here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Br0's. They are one of America's top accounting and business firms, and they're stronger than ever before with their new partnership with Dorn Mayhew from the east side of Michigan. If you're a small business, big business, and you're looking for the professionals who can help your business on any tax or business need you have, go to BeanGarter.com. That is BeanGarter.com. And we're close to March Madness, so be looking for our huge bracket challenge where you could win big cash, courtesy of Tom Rosenbach and his team from Bean-Garter. We'll have more details in the coming weeks. But if you're a business decision maker or owner and you're looking for professionals to help your business, contact Tom Rosenbach and his team at Bean-Garter. BeanGarter.com.
back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Danny Kayla, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Join us now, color analyst for the Michigan State Spartans on the Spartan Radio Network, Matt Stegenga. Matt, my friend, good morning to you. Welcome back to the program. The pride of GR himself. How are you this morning, partner?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me.
I gotta ask you, because we're watching Spartan Hoops this year, and you're talking to somebody with a C-Web jersey hanging on behind it, just so we know, what side of the fence I'm on here. And I'm listening to Spartan fans, and I'm watching this team schedule these juggernauts at the beginning of the season, and they finish the year at 19-11. They're able to secure themselves buys in the Big Ten tournament. How do you quantify what this season was for the 2022-23 Spartans? Is this season a success, and are Spartan fans that might be a little bit displeased with how the year went from time to time, are they taking greatness for granted?
Well, at this moment, truly, this season, it's not finished. The story is not over. Because this team, like most Tom Izzo Michigan State ball teams of the last 25 years, are playing their best basketball right now. And so I think we can still do some things to make this season a truly big success. But, given everything they've gone through, the injuries and the tragedies, and I think overall you do label this season as a success, and especially where we've landed here this week with a double bye in the Big Ten tournament. I think that says it all.
When you take a look at one of the strong suits, and I talk about this young fella all the time, and I probably don't give his running mate as much love, just because I think the story surrounding Jaden Akins and the fact that Tom Izzo stood up for him, he'd stuck with him throughout some of the shenanigans that took place throughout his AAU years, and then accepting him and then getting him back from injury the way that he has been playing. But Tyson Walker, great teams in the NCAA tournament and in any sort of tournament play, you got to have really good leadership, and that all starts with great guard play. Do you think the Spartans got enough there?
Well, I've commented that I think we have one of the best backcourts in the country. Now, you mentioned the word leadership. I think a lot of guys on this team have kind of looked to each other, and no one's ever really kind of stepped up and taken, the reins to really lead, because A.J. Hogard would be that natural guy, but he's not, by seniorship, not the guy. It's kind of been odd, and I think that's maybe the one hold or drawback this team has had. But Jaden Akins, when you mention him, first of all, he's just a terrific kid. Yeah, he's had troubles, but he's just a wonderful young man, and I'm really proud of him, because, again, here's a guy that came back from an injury in the summertime and then had a midseason injury, and playing some of his best basketball in a green and white jersey. So, when you have a guy now that it's kind of like the fourth added scorer, he's a nightmare for opposing coaches when they have to try to game plan this Michigan State ball club.
Joey Hauser was a guy that got a lot of flack last year, Matt. I happen to be one of those people on social media, and I read through the comments, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people with a lot of opinions right now that probably have never even shot a basketball in their life, much less in a game that actually means something, neither here nor there. But, man, there's a lot of criticism. That young man just stick with it. That's all you can tell him to do, stick with it. Keep shooting, shoot yourself out of it. He's shooting almost 46% from three, shooting 49% from the field, a smooth 86 from the free throw stripe. What changed from last year to this year with Joey Hauser, in your opinion?
Yeah, good question. I don't think a lot really changed. We were talking about how good his numbers were last year and how he was the most efficient player on the ball club last year. And Tom Izzo kept talking about that. It seemed like nobody was really listening, because I think people just expected so much from Joey. So, really nothing changed. I think just people now are appreciating him more, because he is a terrific ball player. And, I think at times you just get frustrated. I think people get frustrated because they just think, maybe he's better than what he's given. And he's been nothing but a really good basketball player.
Michigan and Michigan State play in the first go-around in East Lansing. It's a total rock fight, right? It's 59-53. No one can buy a bucket. The offense, everybody's just run up and down the floor looking at each other. You throw it off the glass. Now I'll throw it off the glass, right? It's one of those games. In Michigan State, they win a lot of those games, a lot of those slugfests where offense might be tough to come by. And then all of a sudden they're supposed to play Minnesota after holding Ohio State to 41 points. They're supposed to play Minnesota. That game gets canceled. They play Michigan. They lose to Michigan 84-72. And then all of a sudden, Michigan State Spartan Hoops turns into the ABA. We're talking about putting up points. They're looking at 80, 106, 80, 84. What in the NBA is going on with this team right now? A team that was holding everybody to like 60 points or less surrenders 112 to Iowa. What happened?
We went through stretches where we're shooting over 70% as a team from the three-point land. I don't know. It's so hard to explain. I think it just shows how good this team can be, and maybe it makes it frustrating for fans, wondering, why isn't it this way for every game? Well, that's just the way sports work. But it does provide the insight that this team can win in a variety of ways. The Big Ten is primarily in basketball, defensive minded, and obviously defense wins championships. So you can always, if you have a bad shooting night, rely on defense. I mean, that'll always be there because it's primarily effort, and you can bring effort every night. The shooting might not be there. So, I mean, again, this team can win ugly games, and this team is now showing, hey, it can run with anybody. It's always been a staple of Tom Izzo's offenses in Michigan State. I mean, back to when I played, way back when, we just love to run the basketball, run up and down the floor, and score as many as we can.
Who is the guy? And I'll take Tyson Walker out of the equation. I might even have to remove Joey Hauser. I got to put some parameters on this thing because I'm digging right here, Matt. Who is the guy in your mind that must be solid for the next month? Who's going to be like the keystone piece here if Michigan State is going to have to make if they're going to be able to make a long run here in March headed into April?
Yeah, for me, I hope it's obvious, but it's A.J. Hoggard. Yeah, he's got to be solid. He can't turn the ball over. He's got to be finding shooters. And I really believe when it comes down to getting a big shot, he's got to be able to find the guy or be the guy because the ball's in his hands a lot. But, the big shot guy has been Tyson Walker, but A.J. Hoggard for 40 minutes has to be really good. That's success in tournaments. The little things, not turning the ball over, setting up for easy shots, making free throws. And A.J. Hoggard has really been very, very good this year. And you just hope. I mean, his kind of Mendoza line, if you would, is 4 or 5 turnovers. If he has that many turnovers, we generally don't play well.
And Matt Stegginger joins us right now, radio analyst for the Michigan State Spartans on the Spartan Radio Network. The game in Iowa, the ending of, I don't know why this is, and maybe this is because I'm part fan as well, is that when you lose a game to a team and you might have to see them again, you almost kind of fear, like, what if that happens again? The odds of that happening again, what took place out there in the corn between the Spartans and the Hawkeyes there in the last 90 seconds, when you were watching that, what was going through your mind as it was just made shot after made shot and free throws, and it just the chaos that went from, hey, we're up this much, everything should be fine, to all of a sudden, oh my God, we're going to overtime. Wait a minute, we just lost by 6 points.
I don't know if it was fortunate for me. I missed 2 games this year, and that was one of them.
Oh, you lucked out there.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, I had to be away for a family funeral, so I was. So I've never watched it, nor do I really care to go back and watch it. But I was following along on my phone, and I actually tuned in with about 2 minutes to go in the game, and I say, okay, we're up 12, 14. I go, great, this is the win we need. It sets us up well for the double bye in the Big Ten tournament. And in driving then where I was, I actually listened to Will Team and my guys and Kevin Pauga, and I'm like, okay, we still got this. We still got this, right? And then, the world caved in, and I just couldn't believe it. So, and I did watch probably the last 30 seconds and then overtime, which is probably the worst basketball I could possibly want to watch. And it was just, it's one of those things, I've never experienced that as a player. It's hard to explain. And then the next game at Nebraska, again, the same scenario almost played out. We were up 10 with 2 minutes to go, and teams are going to make this little run. And I think the adversity, like anything, is how you respond to it. And that team responded, really well. Obviously, we won the Nebraska game on the road, and I think that in itself was what this team needed to put that Iowa loss behind them. And, now we have a great chance. I mean, we'll see what happens. More than likely, we'll play them Iowa on Friday, and I hope we do. I really hope we do, because, again, we can exercise those demons and put that behind us. And, here's what's crazy about basketball. Rutgers goes to Minnesota, and almost the same thing happens 3 or 4 days later. So, I don't think Michigan State can feel too bad about what happened. So, a lot of good things have happened since that Iowa game.
Matt, throughout my years, 35 years as an NBA coach here, obviously, there are certain things that I watch Michigan that just drive me crazy, right? And it's got to drive the coaching staff crazy. I mean, these guys have forgotten more than I'll ever know, so it's got to bother the hell out of them. What is one thing that when you're watching, take us through the mind of a player and as an analyst here, when you are sitting there watching the Spartans play, is there something that you see that happened, you might see kind of consistently that you can kind of watch, tell fans that, hey, when you see this, just know I'm irritated beyond belief? Because for me, it's the lack of movement without the ball with Michigan. That drives me. I'm like, move the ball and move without it. Somebody go set a screen. I don't care if you go run up in the bleachers, for God's sakes. Just go do something. What drives you wild?
About Michigan basketball? Or
No, about Michigan State when you're watching your team.
I don't watch Michigan. I try to watch as little as possible.
I don't blame you. The way this season's gone, it doesn't bother me any.
Well, it's a good question. I mean, I have the luxury of watching these games, sure, as an analyst, but I do it from a fan standpoint as much as I can. I really have a good time with it. And, it is, offensively, when the ball doesn't move, it stays in one person's hands. I mean, I don't mind the pick and roll. I mean, I've played in the NBA. I played professionally. That's a lot of what the game is. It's a great piece of the offense. But, for this game has become so heavy dependent on the three-point shot. I really, to really get good looks, the ball has to move. They have to pass the ball. You have to catch defenses, as the motion is switching. So, that's frustrating. I wish, we've struggled this year and a little bit over the last few years of transition and scoring the points. We talked about this earlier, not scoring maybe 70 or more points in games, and that can get frustrating. I know teams get back on us. We talk to every opposing coach before the game, and every coach will say the same thing about how to approach games with Michigan State, and it's getting back. Not sending people to the offensive glass. So it's, I do feel like I watch so many games that I see the same thing night after night. But again, it is what it is. This is the way things go, and I really don't get frustrated.
Hey, fans, you heard the man. Move the ball. That's what we can't have the ball stick. All the youth coaches out there, move the ball, move without it, do something. I watch all these guys. It's like you want to be a spectator, buy a ticket, have some popcorn while you're just sitting around watching in the corner. Come on, do something. All right, Matt, I ask everybody we talk Big Ten basketball with because I can't figure it out. It turns out nobody really has a real answer, so maybe you do. Is the Big Ten, is the conference as a whole good at basketball? Are they good at hoops? When you watch this conference top to bottom, because it was a log jam there between 2 and 10. Everybody was just kind of stuck. So the Big Ten, some bracketologists have us at 10 teams getting in. That's great. Sure, fine. I think it's a little much, but whatever. If they want to put 10 in, put 10 in. Are there 10 teams that are deserving?
Well, I don't know. And I hate to not give you the answer you're looking for. But I always believe the Big Ten is one of the best conferences in the country, without a doubt. So are they deserving? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so much parity this year. We've never seen this in the last 20 years. Something like where a team, just watching Northwestern at Rutgers the other day, Northwestern wins, they're the 2 seed. They lose, they go down to the 9 seed. That's just an incredible set of circumstances, and so much based on one game. So, yeah, I do. I mean, if Northwestern had dropped all the way down to the 9 seed, do they not get into the tournament? I find that hard to believe because they've done so well. So, 10 teams, yeah, maybe. I hope we do too, and I hope someday soon, if not this year, someone from the Big Ten wins another national championship.
Yeah, amen to that. Who is, from an opposition standpoint, who has been maybe the one player that you like to watch the most?
In the Big Ten currently?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's odd because, with with the transfer rules, guys are coming and going so much. It gets frustrating. On my own team, I love our backcourt. I love watching A.J. Hoggard. I love the way he moves, with the basketball when he's moving downhill. Tyson Walker, Jaden Akins. I really do enjoy watching these guys. I would say the opposite. The hardest thing I have watching right now is watching like a Purdue. And I don't mean to be mean to a Zach Edey, but it's hard to. It's so different. And he's so dominating, but in a way I don't enjoy watching the game. That's probably the guy I don't like watching the most.
Hey, guy's an alien. I mean, people don't understand how big he is. I tried to describe it to him, and his cranium is the size of a football helmet. Like, he's just huge. But I think that, like, the Big Ten, we've got some good guard play. You mentioned your guys. We've got some big guys. You look at Zach Edey, Hunter Dickinson, Trace Jackson-Davis. You think about Jalen Hood-Schifino. Like, there's good players. Northwestern, like, there's sneaky good all season long. I think it's been a really fun year. You mentioned the word parity. Kind of where does Illinois fit in this mix? Like, there's so many good teams throughout this conference that I hope the NCAA will open up the door and allow some teams in, specifically my team and your team as well. The double bye, Michigan State will face the winner of Ohio State and Iowa in their Big Ten tournament kickoff there on Friday. Matt Stenginga, the pride of Grand Rapids, Michigan State Spartan alum, analyst on the Spartans Radio Network. Thank you so much for your time this morning, my friend. Studio audience, they love you. Have a great call and enjoy the game tomorrow, my friend.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
There he goes, and always a pleasure to get him on the horn. And look, man, move the ball, move without it. How many times I gotta say it?
Get to the free throw line. That's my biggest discrepancy with this team. You're one of the best free throw shooting teams in the nation. You're in the 300s of free throw attempts.
Are they really 300s?
I believe so, yeah.
Dear heavens. Do you think that he understood my sarcasm with my 35 years of NBA coaching experience, or do you think that Matt Stenginga now believes that I was an NBA coach?
I think he knows where you're coming from.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I was like, wait a minute. What if he actually
You showed great restraint not bringing up Eminem, Mark Montgomery during that interview.
Yeah, I can't throw him under the bus. I think about, earlier, Matt, it was
this
funny
is what we deal with.
In hour number 2 of today's program, we had an argument over who would be Tom Izzo's coach in waiting. Like he announced that he's not coming back. Like he got the Jim Boeheim news. Oh, he's not. Tom Izzo, this team's 19-11, folks. They are the bane of my existence, the entire school. Tom Izzo, obviously, is a Hall of Famer. He's already in it. They should have a separate Hall of Fame specifically for college. He should be in that too. He is like. They're 19-11, and people are mad, and they are having, once again, how many consecutive tournament appearances?
25, 26.
Exactly.
You lose count after this
Some
long.
people can't even get there, and he goes every single season. That's the minimum. The guy's great.
Because it's like Gonzaga, Michigan State, and then after like 26, 25, then it's like 9, 6, 4.
My team's on the ropes. That's all we got. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place here on X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
The new M-Perks is here. Reward yourself with dollars off your purchases, fuel rewards, and more at Meijer. Earn 10 points on nearly every dollar you spend when you shop in-store or on Meijer.com. Then use your points to claim and redeem rewards any way you want. Plus, earn points for every qualifying prescription filled at your Meijer pharmacy. Download the Meijer app to sign up, or if you're already using M-Perks, start earning points and saving today. Save more with M-Perks. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com to learn more.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you or your family is touched by autism, learn more about Freddy's Foundation at #PopTheTap at FreddyThePizzaman.com. That's FREDI, thepizzaman.com, or email FreddyThePizzaman@gmail.com.
Huge coach here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Now you can follow everything Michigan High School sports 24/7 at MHSAA.com. On Twitter at MHSAA, on Facebook MHSAA, and you can watch archive sports and live sports in season for boys and girls all across Michigan, all schools, at MHSAA.tv. But stay up to date on everything Michigan High School sports